in a global sense, there is in fact a movement that has been taking place to ensure that women's sport gets not only the recognition but also, let's say, the money spinning ability that it has deserved for a very long time. However, that isn't necessarily an indication that we are exactly where we need to be when it comes to women's sport. There's still a lot of things that are taking place that aren't necessarily right. And one of those incidents really took place recently in India, and it involves an ex-AIFF official who is in fact in the eye of the storm for assaulting two women's players. And when I say assaulting, I mean it was literally going up to the players and slapping them whilst in an inebriated state. A shocking incident for sure, and one that does definitely highlight how much work there still needs to be done when it comes to, let's say, providing a fair, safe environment for athletes, women athletes in particular, to operate in. The incident in question took place between two players of AajTak FC as well as one of the major or one of the higher ranking officials within the club. And the incident, well, let's just take a look at how it is played out based on the complaint that was filed with the police. Now, it was written that as the dinner was over, we went to our rooms to boil eggs. These were what the two players in question said in the complaint. Due to the fact that they were boiling eggs, Deepak Sharma, the ex-AIFF official in question, who currently holds a good position in AajTak FC, he got offended and stormed into our room, and over there he slapped us. Now, it is worth noting that it was also added in the complaint that he was in an inebriated state and that he would in fact be consistently drinking whenever he was traveling. He would always carry alcohol with him. And of course, it's definitely not a justification, but does prove just how unfortunate it is that players have to be subjected to this. And understandably, they were in a very shaken state once this incident took place. In fact, so shaken were they that at one point the players were actually afraid for their lives. That's how out of control the situation threatened to become at one point, until an intervention was made by all of those who could in fact, let's say, stop such a situation from taking place. And now the players have been dropped off home because, as I mentioned, they were afraid for their lives. They weren't in the best of situations mentally, and so to take care of them, they were sent back home. And what's even better is that the AIFF, the federation, have now gotten, let's say, a notice of all of this, and they have promised some very firm action will be taken against the person in question, that is Deepak Sharma. The real question is though that how is it that it takes something of this magnitude for people to wake up and realize that the environment that a lot of these players would be working in is not one that is very conducive to, let's say, bringing out the best in them as athletes. Women's football in India, you could argue that the sport of football in itself is very neglected, but at least the male players have started to be getting better positions when it comes to, let's say, remuneration, the league getting more exposure. The same cannot be said about women's football in the least. There were complaints that when the Indian Women's League took place, it took place in the peak of summers. There were games being played every day. Didn't exactly make for a healthy sporting competition, and now you're hearing about things like this happen in the second division of the Women's League, and it's unfortunate. It just shouldn't be happening no matter the circumstances, and one can really hope that the official in question is punished to the fullest extent of the law and that provisions are put in place to ensure that more such incidents don't happen again. If you enjoyed this video, you can let us know by liking it, sharing it with your friends, subscribing to the channel, tap that bell icon, leave a comment as well, share your thoughts on this story, and don't forget also to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, don't forget to download the AajTak app, and if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos we've done as well. Now from my side, it's goodbye.